everyone. Oh, excuse me. Welcome, welcome. Hope everybody's doing amazing today. Welcome to another Magical Monday with Dana. I am your hostess with the mostest, Dana Gomez, Sage and Harmony Holistic Coaching. Thanks for being here. All right, so let me go ahead and get our cards ready for today. Let me get this centered a little bit better. There we go. So that way I'm not have you guys looking all over the place. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. Getting our cards ready, just getting everything settled. Make sure you check in. Tell me where you are, your name, and where you're calling in or checking in from. Great to see everybody. So excited for tonight's show. Got my Archangel Michael deck ready to go tonight. I'm channeling Archangel Michael. I'm excited about that tonight. So welcome, everyone. So quick disclaimer, as usual, the information provided on the show this evening is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It is not meant to treat or diagnose any mental health or health conditions. Let me go ahead and get these comments up. I see stuff coming up. Hey, Carlos. How are you? Thanks for being here, brother. Thank you. Thank you for sharing the show. I appreciate you. Amantha, welcome, darling. Great to see you. Thanks for being here again. All right. So as always, let's go ahead and start with a beautiful affirmation. As we get ourselves ready for tonight's affirmation meditation, a quick meditation before we get into our readings. Just allowing ourselves to just sit back and relax for a moment. Just allowing our body to relax. Checking in, noticing where we might be holding an emotion that needs to be honored and released. And just let the tension ride away. Good. Nice to know that you're good, Carlos. Thanks for being here and supporting. All right, so let's see what the universe has in store for us today. So tonight's affirmation is, I trust life and all life's lessons. I trust life and all life's lessons. So let's get right hand over our heart, left hand over our tummy. I trust life and all of life's lessons. Let's go ahead and breathe that in nice and deep. Beautiful. Big exhale out. I trust life and all of life's lessons. Nice breath in, breathing in nice and deep. Good. Big exhale out. I trust life and all of life's lessons. Last breath in, breathing that in nice and deep. And just feeling that beautiful energy just covering us, protecting us, giving us everything that we need. Big exhale out. Beautiful. Awesome. Alrighty. So that is our mantra for this week. I trust life and all of life's lessons. Make sure you keep that. And as always, the affirmation deck is available on our website, which is located on the ticker on the bottom. So let me get these cards situated here. Make sure this phone is off. There we go. And done. Alrighty. Totally resonates. Yes. Definitely, definitely. It has been an interesting 2 weeks, I would say. There's been lots of interesting energy, at least on my end. Just kind of things that I've noticed. I've also noticed that I've closing out cycles. Yeah, I've also noticed that I've become less want to say less reactive, because I don't know if reactive is a good word. I think I've just become like less interested in like having, like back and forth conversations, like whatever. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm just kind of like, all right, if you say 1 + 1 = 5, like you're absolutely right. I'm not even going to argue with that. So I've just kind of like really pulled myself out. Yeah, definitely calm and peaceful. Like I'm not even letting anything like bother that or get in the way, or just like, okay, whatever. And I'm just good in my peace. I think is that what you're meaning too, Carlos? Like, are you feeling that too? You just kind of like, dude, I'm good in my peace. Like whatever you got going on is you. I'm completely good. Like that's how I'm feeling. I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. Like whatever else is happening, I'm good. Yeah. 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 And I think like I kind of, like you said, closing out cycles. And I know like in a couple of my other shows, like I talked about the end of the year and all of that, just kind of like closing out the year. I kind of feel like that is part of what I'm supposed to be doing right now to kind of get me ready for next year. Because I know that I've already gotten a bunch of downloads on some of the work that I'm supposed to be doing for next year. But I kind of feel like I'm supposed to just pull away and kind of pull back in order to just be more, I don't want to say isolated, just I think more selective with energy, who I'm really investing my energy in, and just kind of being more mindful of that. So I think this is kind of like the preview of what is going to be coming in for next year for me, because like I said, I'm just like less bothered, less just like, okay, like I'm good with my peace, and if my peace bothers you, probably not the right space for you. Everything is okay. That's kind of how I'm feeling, but I don't know. We'll see. I know next year is going to be lots of changes next year. So good changes. I kind of feel like it's going to be really, really good next year. I also feel like there's going to be a lot of, at least the clients that I'm working with, and Carlos, let me know if you're seeing the same thing. Like I'm seeing a lot of almost a spiritual leveling up with some of my clients. Definitely good changes. Yeah. The clients that I'm like doing readings with and doing spiritual work with, are you seeing also the just like a lot of spiritual, like a leveling up for them? Like they're kind of in the same space that we are. They're just kind of closing out stuff, closing out relationships, jobs, and stuff like that, and a definite level up on their spirituality. Because I have a lot of kind of say newbies, but just kind of people that are starting to really question and understand. And yes, the universe is speaking to me. Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Good. So good to know. It's good to always chat with other spiritual workers to kind of see, their perspective and stuff. And I have some mentors here locally that I love and working with, and we're all just kind of seeing, different things, but the same things. Like, some of the spiritual workers that I work with, or rather the mentors that I work with, they're getting a lot more of the people going into like deeper, like a lot deeper into their spirituality, almost, I want to say even unearthly, like really just not even feeling like like we belong here anymore. And I've been experiencing that, where it's hard for me to stay in this reality. Like it's hard for me to stay grounded here, because I just feel like so much of it, and even time just kind of feels like it's off. So, which has been really interesting to deal with. So, I don't know, just day by day, I suppose. You just go in and just keep trucking along. So Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of us are feeling the energy shift. The energy shift, I think for me that I'm really experiencing, and tell me what you're experiencing, Carlos, because I'm really curious. The energy shift that I'm experiencing, like I said, it's almost like other dimensional. So I'm really having a hard time with time. Like just, remembering time and the concept of time and like when things happened within my timeline, just even recently. And things are just happening so fast. Like so fast, like the days are just flying by. And it's just that like being able to keep up with what's happening time wise here is definitely been a challenge. And almost like you can't remember it. Like I'm having a hard time remembering just, I mean, and not just from a concussion brain standpoint, right? I'm talking about like just, time wise here, working with things and keeping my calendar straight and everything. So it's definitely been interesting, the shift. Actually, I was talking to one of my mentors the other day, and she was saying the same thing. She was like, I never know what day I'm in. I'm having a hard time keeping up with the month or anything else because everything just is shifting all over the place. And I was like, yeah, I get that 100%. So yes, but I'm excited to see what this new year has to bring. I think this new year is going to be really impactful for a lot of people. It did. It really did. And I remember January, it was like the month that never ended. Like, like January was like, okay, today's like day 187 of January, because January just never ended. And it just seemed like once January ended, the rest of the year just flew by. Like next thing you know, we were celebrating Halloween. And I'm like, what is happening right now? How did this even happen? But yeah, I remember like never getting out of January. But after that, boom, the rest of the year just was like flying by. All right, guys, let's see. Who's ready for a reading tonight? We have Archangel Michael deck, we have our Spirit Guide deck, and we have another deck that I'm really, really enjoying working with lately, and I'm being very more intentional working with the Magic and Medium Oracle deck. I actually love this deck. So I've been very, very intentional with working with this deck because I just love the energy and the artistry of this deck. And I actually ordered, I think, 2 or 3 more decks because that's what we do. So I'm excited to get those in and start playing with those, see how those go. But I think I have one more. I have this week and then next week, and then I am actually leaving Orlando for good. So this is my last 2 weeks in my Orlando house, and then I'm moving. So lots of changes. Very excited about the changes. Very, very excited. We have products in our store now. We are doing a lot more events. I have 2 more programs rolling out next year. So you can absolutely get an Archangel Michael card. Yeah, totally. Totally. Hold on. Archangel Michael. Please. Literally 2 cards fell out straight away. Like that was pretty All right. So, Mr. Carlos, interesting enough, your first card is Energy Healing Work. This is again from the Archangel Michael deck. Thank you for sending me healing, dear, my prayer. So thank you for sending me healing energy to me and through me for my own blessings and for all of those around me. Thank you for connecting me to loving and high integrity healers and teachers of energy healing modalities. Your second card, again, that fell out literally like back to back. Go forward fearlessly. My prayer. Thank you for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand, for giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in a direction of love and my true life's purpose. Okay. And oh no, where did it go? Where did the comments go? There we go. And then the last card is admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. My prayer. I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance so that I can be lovingly honest with myself and others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for giving me courage and strength. And I really love how it and doesn't it usually, right? They always kind of come out in this beautiful story form. The way it's just the message is so fluent. The energy healing work, go forward fearlessly, but also admitting the truth to yourself and act accordingly. I really love the fact that he is being so supportive in speaking your truth, right? And for you to just be compassionate and loving with yourself. And I think that's, we were talking before the show or in the beginning of the show, we were kind of really talking about, how much changes we're expecting. And I think that's kind of part of it, right? And it just that self-evolution as we go through changes, go forward fearlessly, but also give yourself the love and compassion that's going to come with it. Definitely calling on Archangel Michael for that strength and for that wisdom, especially when we're kind of on that fence type of deal. We're not feeling really secure. We're not feeling very sure of what's happening. And that's okay to do that. So, and you know that you're a very gifted healer. So this is just a beautiful message. This is just kind of like his confirmation of, yes, I'm here doing the work. Go ahead and go fearlessly forward because I got you. I got your back. And it's really a beautiful time for you. So I love this. And I just love how the card just came out specifically for you. So this was really nice. Thank you. Tammy. Hi, Tammy. Yes, you may. Facebook user. It doesn't say your name. Hi. I appreciate the Venmo, but I don't know. You're so welcome, Carlos. Thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you. Yes, Tammy, you may. Hi, Emma. Thank you for being here. Yes, I will get you a card, Emma. Donna. Didn't I used to work with you? Is that the same Donna Baker from the hospital? You're welcome. Hi, Talia. Oh, that's my daughter's name, Talia. Hey, Carmen, welcome. Yes, of course. Oh, yay, Donna. Welcome. Hi, darling. It's so good to hear from you. That's my old coworker, y'all. Donna and I worked at the hospital a couple of years ago now. I left in 2019. Elizabeth, is this? Oh, welcome, Elizabeth. Hi, darling. It doesn't say your name. That's why. Got it. Thank you. Hi, Catherine. Thank you. Elizabeth. Hi. Ooh, Ireland. Okay, so let's get on for Tammy's team. Tammy's team to for her highest good, please. I'm so excited. I'm trying to say hello to everybody. And I'm trying to shuffle and get. Okay. So Tammy, for you, we have the Spirit Guide deck. Ooh, beautiful. All right, so your first card, Tammy, is the self-love card. Your second card is You Are Not Alone. Remember, this is from Spirit Guides. Your third is Soul Solitude. Let me go ahead and just read. Oh, you did leave too? Oh, yeah, we'll have to catch up, Donna. So your first card, Tammy, self-love. Now is the time to love, nurture, and heal yourself. Self-love is not simply a state of mind about feeling good. It is a state of appreciation for yourself that grows and matures from actions you take to support your body, mind, and soul. Definitely want to get into that. You're not alone. We are here for you. We never left through all the sadness and loneliness. However, you cannot sense us near or feel us how much love we are sending you. We are your family, we are your friends, and we are your guides. Ooh, I just got chills on that. You will never walk alone because we are right beside you. Wow, that's just, I literally just got chills just reading that. Soul solitude. Your soul needs attention. There are moments when it is important to get away, not just from the noise outside, but to find a place where your soul can experience peace and quiet, a place for soul solitude. This is a time for pause, a time to reflect, and a time for you. Now, yes, right? I'm glad that you did. So, in the very beginning of the show, Carlos and I were actually talking about how we are, the end of the year, we are just kind of transitioning, kind of going through this state of closing out. And I really love that soul solitude is very supportive of that, because a lot of us in the collective are going through that process now, right? The process of just, closing out the year, what's good for us, where we're investing our money, where we're our energy, and our money, but where we're investing our energy and where we're investing our time and, our finances and all of those things, and being very, very selective of those things, right? But it really ties into that self-love, because as we are really kind of going into that soul solitude, this is about self-love. It's not, so self-love, like it said, it's not just, it's not just simply about a state of mind and feeling good. It is a way of life. Like it's something that, you have to do on a consistent basis. And it's so important because it's for your growth. Self-love is compassion, it's patience, it is nurturing, it's, just taking some time for you, and that's that soul solitude. But most importantly, and I really love how the card of You're Not Alone is just kind of sandwiched in between those two cards as the reminder of how much love and support you actually have to behind you on a spiritual realm. Your familiars that have transitioned on, your friends and your family, your ancestors, even ones that you haven't met on a physical level, you are part of their bloodline. So they're going to be there to love and support you and give you that love and guidance. Now, I am just getting for you to listen a little bit more to the messages and the signs that are coming through, because what they're saying to me is that, towards this end of the year, you're going to be getting a lot more of the messages of what needs to be done for you, more of how you need to take care of yourself. So if you get a feeling that you're supposed to do something, do that thing, because that's them. That's your spirit team giving you the messages. Okay. If you, happen to see, spa day or whatever it is, and that just keeps showing up, that's them saying, hey, you need to take care of yourself, or, just whatever it is that you're kind of being drawn to, that feeling, that intuition of you needing to do that, definitely go ahead and do that, because that's their way of communicating. Remember, our guides are always there communicating and listening. And if you need a specific sign, I always encourage you guys, please, please, please make sure that you are talking to your spirit guides and ask for very specific signs. My sign that I ask always for is feathers, and I get them all the time. I get them all the time, and it's beautiful because it's a confirmation. So I encourage you to talk to your guides, talk to them, ask them for very specific, pennies or whatever, something that's going to mean something to you. So then that way you have that confirmation. Because what ends up happening is our logic brain will say, oh, that's a coincidence. Oh, that's a coincidence. And they're just in there like, How many more signs do we need to give her, right? We're always looking for that sign of your sign. So, and y'all have heard me talk about that before, but it's true. We kind of, second guess ourselves. We second guess the signs. Oh, it could have just been whatever. But really just trust your team. Your team knows. I have cardinals every day. Beautiful. So your team knows what you need. And remember that our teams cannot intervene without our permission. So, hey, Margarita. Oh my God, it's a party. Everybody's here. So, definitely call on your team, ask them for help, ask them for guidance, ask them for wisdom, whatever it is that you're struggling with, or just be in gratitude. Just say thank you. Thank you is great. Like your angels, your team, they love hearing that. And to know that they're being acknowledged and appreciated as well. Tammy King, that is your message for today, my dear. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. All right. Let's see who else is here. Elizabeth, Donna. Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful, so wonderful. Margarita is here. Carmen, are you still here, my dear? Carmen, Sean, and Sicario? If I have that. Hi, yay, Carmen. You're so welcome, dear. Carmen, we have a spirit guide deck for you also. Please, guys, also remember to like and follow Psychic Fixes and Sage and Harmony Holistic Coaching. We have a card that came out. Okay. Loads of wonderful, talented healers and readers on Psychic Fixes. And then my page, Sage and Harmony. I have meditation classes, coaching classes, all kinds of wonderful events happening. So please stay tuned for that. Woo, love it. All right, Miss Carmen. Synchronicity, your first card. We were actually just talking about that, talking about signs. Stay connected is your second card, and we'll go ahead and read them in just a moment. And then let go is your final card on here. And I just kind of want to bring your attention to exactly what we were talking about earlier about like the closeout of the year and how everything's kind of closing out. Notice how these autumn leaves and that season of autumn is also in here. And that's, I love that card because it is so symbolic of exactly what we're going through now. Synchronicity. Are you noticing the signs of synchronicity in the spirit world that the spirit world has been sending you? People and situations in your life are not just appearing by coincidence. In reality, they are being guided to you from the spirit world to help you for a specific reason. Literally just talking about that, yeah? Donna, it was great to see you, darling. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Stay connected. We are all born connected to spirit. Often we often known as divine source. Yet many of us have a tendency to pull away from the connection as we journey through the physical world. Now is the important time to stay connected to source. And then your last card again is let go. Once you let go of the outcome, you'll be able to release all the emotional constraints that have held you back in the past. Trust in the higher good and the guidance of spirit, as we have only your best intentions at heart and will do anything in our power to protect you. I love this. So, Carmen, I'm going to actually start from the middle card and work my way out. Okay. Really connecting to divine source energy, connecting to God source energy, God consciousness. I one of the things that is coming through straight away is, and it's not that I don't feel like you have the connection. I'm more getting of the trust and release and surrender part of it. Hi, Miss Kate, welcome. That's what's coming through for me. Like, that's the message that I keep getting is, and I keep hearing the word surrender. Like it, and I know that it's very difficult in the surrender, but in surrender is where our faith and our trust is really super like built and tested, right? But when we know that we are in a state of surrender, we know that's where we're letting go of the outcome, because we already know that everything is going to work out perfectly for our highest good. Even if it doesn't work out exactly the way that we wanted it or intended it to, it always works out the way that it's supposed to. Now, I say that to say is that really kind of taking those things that happen as experiences, as lessons, and what can I pull out of it that was really beneficial for me. Because even in some of the worst situations, and I say that respectfully, right? I say that respectfully because I know that like life has given us some really difficult, some really hard challenges. I've had my own challenges, but I can go through those challenges now and look back at them and pull something positive that has helped me now to help somebody else. Does that make sense? So kind of allowing yourself to pull away from and detaching away from expectations of what you think something is supposed to be, how you want it to end, the way we want someone to react or we want a situation to be. But and kind of giving that over. It's that let go and let God kind of saying like that. This is that right now. And then I love the synchronicity card also, just giving you the confirmation of like those things aren't by accident. Those are very deliberate people that were put in your place. You know, those signs were those situations, those opportunities. They were all very deliberate. Everything that is happening is on a very deliberate basis to help you for your spiritual growth, to help you for your mental and emotional growth. And as you grow, you learn. So even again, in those challenging situations, what could you have gotten through it from it to help you, and not just to help you, but also to help others, because this is where our spirituality, our spirit and our humanity meet, because there is a very human part of experiencing traumas, love, happiness, joy. Those are very human experiences that we have an opportunity to share with others, right? You like helping others. That's beautiful. And so you should continue to do so. We are lighthouses, right? We are lighthouses for people around us. So use those experiences and lessons to help the other people around you that really need it. And again, just not necessarily needing to fix things. Like we don't need to go in to fix and to heal somebody, but we can go in as a support and as a love and as a guide, and not have the expectation of, I'm coming here to help you and to heal you, and I'm going to make everything all better. No, I'm here for you right now for this very reason. And whatever you need me to be for right here, I'm going to be just that. And I'm going to let go of whatever I think the outcome should be. Does that make sense? And just allowing whatever information God and the team has for you to be able to provide on. So I definitely encourage you to continue to really look around you. And I would even start journaling them to, see the cycles that's coming through for you. Because once you start journaling, that's where you're able to recognize the patterns, kind of looking back to your journals and be like, oh my gosh, like that's crazy how this person came into my life and all of a sudden this happened because that person mentioned whatever. And it's insane and it's beautiful at the same time. But it really is, when you start journaling, you can kind of start putting these patterns and these cycles together, and then noticing that everything was very deliberate. It was part of the divine plan, my dear. Love it. All right. Who is next? Love it. Thank you, Miss Carmen. I'm glad that it makes sense. Very good. Guys, you can also support the show by sending stars or by sending a donation. You're so welcome, my dear. Trying to make sure. Thank you, Miss Margarita. Thank you, darling. Miss Elaine, are you here? We have Archangel Michael. Miss Elaine Frew, coming in once, going twice. Give it a minute. Yay! I was hoping you were here. Hi, Allison. I see you. Yeah, the Archangel Michael deck definitely called out for you, Miss Elaine. Wow. Wow. Okay. I love when these cards just read out like this. Okay, so your first card, again, Archangel Michael deck, that definitely called out for you. Your first card is detached from the situation. Your second card is the situation has already been resolved. And your last card is let go of fear now. All right, so let's go ahead and read that detached from the situation. My prayer, dear Archangel Michael, I ask you use your flaming sword to cut any attachment to fear or drama that I may be centered in the knowingness that peace is everywhere within me in this situation. The situation has already been resolved card, the prayer. I give any worries, cares, and concerns to you in exchange for true peace in all ways. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for resolving this situation in a divinely perfect way. And then the last card of the let go of fear now. My prayer, dear Archangel Michael, please help me to feel safe and deserving of your guidance. Thank you for clearing me of heavy, toxic, or ego-based thoughts or feelings. You know, I one of the things that just kind of, and if you guys have followed me for a while, you'll notice that what ends up happening is that there's usually a theme that starts reoccurring throughout the different readings, right? But this is kind of what it is, that surrender that I was talking about in one of the other readings, surrendering yourself and having that detachment. Practicing detachment, there's such a fear behind it because we as humans need to know what happens next. I need to have control. I need to know if it's going to be okay. I need to make sure of whatever, right? Needing to know all of the working parts that's going in. But with Archangel Michael specifically talking to you, asking you to detach yourself from any situation, really, not just whatever situation might be coming up for you right now, but literally detaching yourself from any situation and just to know and have the trust, the unconditional knowing and trust that everything is already taken care of. And one of the things that they're inviting you to do also is seeing the situation resolved, but not necessarily resolved the way you want it to be resolved for the highest good of everybody in a way that's going to be of peace, and it's going to be in a very loving manner. So I say that to say the reason I say that specifically is because if we only want something done the way we think it should get done, right, that may not necessarily be the highest good for everybody involved, right? So, and that could also not be the best way that it needs to be resolved. So have you ever thought of a situation, have you ever been in a situation where you really wanted something to be, I mean, we can even look at that as in relationships, right? Like we really wanted this relationship to work out. I thought this was the greatest guy in the world. And it turns out he ends up breaking my heart. And like, it was the worst thing in the world. And oh my God. And you look back and you're like, that guy was a complete jerk. Like, what was I thinking? Thank God that didn't work. That didn't work out. This is the same type of thing. Like, you don't have to have the way that it's going to end. Just know and trust that every situation whether it's now or even in the future, just know that every situation that comes through for you, start practicing detachment from the way that you want it to end or how you think it should end. And just say, and just literally in the prayer that you do, I give this over to God, to my angels, to, you know, spirit divine, whoever it is that you're working with, and say to them, just say, look, I'm just giving this over. I'm trusting it's going to end up in the highest good for everybody involved. I let go in the name of peace, in the name of love, and really just give yourself that space to do so. Now, let go of fear now. Please help me to feel safe and deserving of your guidance. Thank you for clearing me of heavy, toxic, or ego-based thoughts or feelings. This is the foundation for all those other things that we were talking about, because you have to let go of fear and you have to be in a state of trust in order to be able to start practicing a detachment. Those things go hand in hand, whether you like it or not, right? Starting to let go. Listen, trust, release, surrender. Listen, trust, release, surrender. Listen to the messages, listen to the signs and the symbols that are coming through. Trust in what you get, trust in your messages, trust in your intuition, trust in God, trust in your team. Release yourself from attachment, release yourself from ego, release yourself from self-doubt, from commitment. And then surrender yourself to actual divine source energy. I want to know if I will do healing work taking ages to work out. That is literally, so let me back up a little bit. That the answer to that is already in the detach yourself from the situation. So it's taking ages for it to work out. Like, you're wanting it to look a certain way. You're wanting it to be a certain way. You're wanting it to already have been done. My question to you now is going to be, have you already started working on doing healing work? Because if you're already doing healing work, and what does that look like? So that's an entirely different conversation. But what they're saying to you is that, look, detach yourself from the expectation of what you think is supposed to be. Like, it can be a lot greater than what it is, because here's the beautiful part about it. We only see things as humans in a very linear way most of the time, right? We put ourselves in these boxes, like healing work. I want to do healing work. I want to do Reiki. So let's just say I want to be a Reiki practitioner. I want to be a master Reiki practitioner. This is what I want to do. So I only see myself doing this. However, the plan for me is to not just work with people, but I'm supposed to work with animals. I'm supposed to work with more of the elderly. So my box of what is really in store for me is so much greater than what I had already planted in my mind. Because in my mind, it looked like this. Meanwhile, my blessing is like this, but I couldn't see it because I was too busy focusing here. Does that make sense? So I'm going to ask you to kind of pull away from the detachment of what you think that healing work is supposed to look like. Talk to your team, connect with your team, and say, okay, give me that guidance of what I'm supposed to do just for today. And pull away from the future of it. Just for today, give me this, what my guidance is supposed to be for today or for this week. So then that way you know what to focus on. Yes, ma'am. You're so welcome. Whew. I need water after that one. And Allison, you're so welcome. Allison, are you still here, my dear? Hello. We have a spirit guide deck for you. Okay, we have one card that fell out for you. Good. I'm so glad, Miss Elaine. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your support. Here every Monday at this time, so please make sure to put that on your calendar. Whew. I love this. Okay, Miss Allison, your first card is the Strength card. Hey, my sister-in-law's here. Hi, sweetie. Erica. Erica keeps saying, hey, Erica. Your first card, Allison, is the Strength card. And that one and the Have Fun card fell out for you straight away. So Strength, Have Fun, and your last card is Receive. All right, Miss Allison. So your first card, Strength. Strength comes from many sources. Staying strong brings confidence and conviction and a balanced body, mind, and soul. Spirit has its own unique and beautiful way of replenishing your soul with strength on a continual basis. You're never really alone, as we are always with you. Again, this is from your spirit team, your spirit guide deck. Have fun. Stop. When was the last time you had fun? When was the last time you took a chance and did something silly, something totally unlike you, something just for the joy of it? It is long overdue to let yourself let go of the analytical mind and give yourself and your soul permission to have fun. I love that. I love you, Erica. Thank you. And then your last card is Receive. You are a kind and loving soul who constantly reaches out and gives to others. But now it is time for you to learn and graciously receive. Just as the ebb and flow of tides, the art of giving and receiving is a natural law and divine order of the universe. This is so beautiful. And one of the things that I really just kind of want, I'm going to work with this card and then kind of work myself back a little bit. I really want to encourage and one of the things that they're really emphasizing is this Receive card, because so many times when we are, especially women, right? We try to be the superwoman and try to be all of the things and be creative and do all of the things. We are such natural nurturers, right? A lot of times it is in our, and I say a lot of times because not always, but many times women are nurturers, right? We are very nurturing, taking care of others. It is just in our DNA for the most part, right? It's very easy for us to get lost in that and give, and it becomes very difficult to receive, right? And working with the laws of the universe, here's the important thing to remember. If everybody was a giver, who's receiving? It has to be a natural flow of life. There's the give and the take. So if everybody was giving and nobody was receiving, then how can we continue to have that cycle? We couldn't, right? We couldn't continue to ride that. There has to be somebody that's receiving. You are able to receive. Now, I love the fact that this comes through. And the reason I'm taking this card and working back is because this Have Fun card is so elemental to that. They go together. Receiving time, receiving laughter, giving yourself the gift of time, giving yourself the gift of being able to let go, giving yourself the gift of being able to just cut loose just for a little bit. I'm feeling some, I don't want to say rigid, but resistance. Like there's flow, but then there's these spots of resistance that I'm feeling in your field. And that can honestly easily be removed and with conscious effort of removing them. That Strength card, staying strong brings confidence and conviction and a balanced mind and body. Now, strength again comes in so many different forms, right? Strength is vulnerability. It's also being brave. It's also being balanced. So strength comes in so many different forms. And I'm going to invite you just for a second to really consider the way that you are defining strength. Because as we go through our evolution in life, spiritual evolution, as we get older and things start changing and we start having more experiences, more traumas, more good things that happen to us, then our definition of strength starts to change and starts to shift. So they are asking you, really mostly just they, but I'm working for them, They're asking you to go in and just kind of define what strength looks like for you. Because strength could actually be just you saying, no, I'm not going to do that. And setting those healthy boundaries for yourself, setting those boundaries where you're just like, I'm burnt out and I'm really not going to do another thing today. And I'm just going to go to the park, or I'm going to go to the beach, or I'm just going to go to a cafe, and I'm just going to take care of myself today. I'm going to spend the day in my bed coloring. Why not? Right? But this is where this comes in. Giving yourself permission to really receive that gift of time. Give yourself back that time. Give yourself that gift of laughter, of peace. All of this, why this is so important, why are they telling you this? Because all of this is energy and frequency, my dear. All of this is energy and frequency, right? You love, gratitude, passion, that's the highest frequency that we can be in. Love and gratitude are the highest frequency that we can be in. Aside from, the only thing higher than that is enlightenment. When we are in that state of love and gratitude and joy, right? Those are the highest ones, right? Then we start working with the laws of the universe, just like he was talking about. We start receiving and attracting things of that same energy cycle, of that same frequency. Opportunities, not situations. Opportunities. Things that are going to be for our highest good. Things that make us feel good. Things that make us laugh. Right? Things that make the world easy. You are a miracle maker. You can make your miracles. This is something you have the power to co-create. But you have to check your frequency in order to get this done, because if you are always in a state of feeling down, heavy energy, like I always see it like as winter coat on top of winter coat on top of winter coat. If you are walking around with all of those winter coats, what do you think your energy is going to be? It's going to be like heavy, really surrounded by that, right? But you start shedding. Now I'm lighter. Okay, if I'm lighter, I'm attracting light things. I'm attracting great opportunities, experiences, adventures, things that just feel fucking good. So that's what you need to attract. Make sense? I love that. I love this reading for you, Miss Allison. Thank you so much. Whew, where are we on time? I think I got time for one more. Alrighty. Oh, good. I'm glad. I was like, oh no, did she hear any of that? Because I didn't see anything. You're so welcome, my dear. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here and supporting the show. I appreciate you. Again, here on Mondays, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whatever that looks like on your end, because I know I have people from all over the world, actually, which I'm really grateful for. So 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 7:30, so 1 hour show, because I believe we have somebody else that comes on Monday nights. So yes. Thank you so much. You can also follow me on Facebook. Thank you. Yes, and tell a friend. Tell two. Have them follow us. You can follow me on Psychic Fixes. You can also follow me on Sage and Harmony here on Facebook. I am an emotional wellness coach. I do specialize in anxiety and emotional flow mastery. I help my clients with their emotions and their anxiety and how to live the best life that they possibly can. As also being a spiritual coach as well. So make sure that you follow both pages. You're getting so you're in the know with everything. I have events coming up. I have a beautiful shop on Etsy, but also on my Facebook page, my website, www.snhcoaching.com. It is amazing to be here with you guys each week. I am so grateful for the exchange of energy. Yeah, I kind of figured that's what it was. I didn't want to say that because I try to be mindful of certain things, how I deliver my messages. That's why I said there was resistance. I can feel it. So that's where I was noticing that resistance that was coming in. But that resistance, again, can be worked on. And if you want, you can DM me. I'm happy to just kind of chat with you a little bit about that. A couple of things that, super simple that you can do. We can have just a quick chat just so I can help you get along with that a little bit. And then if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. But my website is www.snhcoaching.com. And on Sage and Harmony, you can DM me there, and I'm happy to speak with you and give you some tips and tricks on anxiety. As I am also a long time, I think everybody has anxiety. So real quick, my approach to anxiety is a little bit different than what most people are used to. So I actually teach my clients how to embrace it, along with their emotions. And the reason that I do that is because when I was at my worst with anxiety, I noticed that I was stacking fear on top of fear, right? So I would have the fear of whatever it was. And then I was having the fear of the anxiety itself, the physical symptoms that I was experiencing. I was in the hospital with panic attacks. Actually, most of the times that I was having these panic attacks, I was in a domestic violence relationship. So that's really where it was coming from. I mean, if I'm going to be really honest about things and be very transparent, but my anxiety was coming because of the relationships that I was in, that I really didn't need to be in, and everything, my body, my spirit was basically telling me run. But I just wasn't in a position to do that at that time, for many reasons. But I say that to say is that I was so much fearing the physical symptoms, tightness of chest, my body aches, my migraines, my memory problems, which was something else I didn't realize that was contributing to my anxiety, or to my memory problems, was my anxiety. I went through so many different tests only to find out that it really was my anxiety that was causing all of my physical symptoms. So one of the things, it takes time, my dear. It really does. So I completely understand. And what I learned was that I was able to first process where that cycle came from, right? So first of all, why was I in these relationships? You were cheating on. Okay. There was a part of me that was attracting the relationships that I was in, which came from, emotional neglect, emotional abuse, traumas from my childhood, all of that stuff brought into now my adulthood, that I was now recycling into these relationships. These are the men that I was attracting, right? And I say was because I have the most amazing man now. Like, it took a shit ton of work for me to attract the man that I have now. And I can honestly say, he's the only healthy relationship that I've ever had in my entire life. Ever. I am now 48. That says a lot. Okay. Now, I did all of this work, but I needed to figure out where that root cause of the anxiety was coming from. So then that way I can change it, because I just was recycling relationships, whether it was a relationship with a man or friendships or anything in my world. So really figuring out where that was coming from and then making the changes, because what we do know is that everything that happens on the outside is a direct reflection of things from our inside, right? The jobs that we choose, all of those things, those are a direct reflection of us from the inside. So do the work. I'm doing all of this healing, getting all this stuff done. And what I realized was, when I was doing this healing work, was that You go to the doctor, go to therapy, and they say, all right, here's this pill. So then that way it takes the edge off. Well, I'm an empath and I'm a psychic. And what you're doing is literally burying me alive because I can't feel. Like, that's my whole thing. That's why I'm able to do these readings, because I feel, I hear. And those medications were shutting me down to where I could not hear. I was like, okay, we are not doing this. So I got myself off of that like quick, fast. Like, I was like, I'm not a person that can take medication anyway. I'm hypersensitive to medicine. I've always been. So that doesn't work. Like, I couldn't even tell you that I could even smoke weed because I can't. I cannot physically handle it. But it was because I was now able to identify this anxiety that was happening in me, where this was all coming from. And I had to study the anxiety. I had to study the psychological part, how the mind was working. And when I found out that my anxiety was in my brain and what was happening in my brain, and that I had control over certain things, I was like, why didn't anybody tell me this? Why wasn't this an option? That's why I do what I do. Because I teach my clients that, look, you're always going to have anxiety, but it doesn't have to take over you. Like, you can have anxiety and still live a very productive life, because you identify the triggers, you know the symptoms, you're able to get yourself in a balanced state before the panic attacks actually happen. That's the key. See, by the time your symptoms start happening in your body, it's already too late. You can't take medication either. Yeah, neither can I. So I needed to figure out, okay, I can't be reactive to my anxiety. I have to be proactive. So how am I proactive? Okay, well, this is going to take some work. So this is going to take really knowing myself, knowing my triggers, knowing what works for my body, how much caffeine I can take. So luckily, I don't have too much of an issue with that. Okay, great. Am I sleeping? Am I not sleeping? What am I eating? Am I journaling? Am I meditating? All of these things that I needed to really work on in order to get my anxiety under control. Now, again, anxiety is a very natural part of our body. Our minds are created for that. Our minds are created to say, okay, that's where that fight, flight, or freeze comes in, right? So when that happens, that cortisol starts going, your body is like, hey, something's chasing you. You need to get your ass in action. But the problem is that something's not always chasing us. So we don't always have to be in that state. That's what anxiety is. Anxiety is an emotion along with a memory that got stored in your brain, and your mind, your unconscious mind, is constantly playing almost like an app in the background. And it's always looking for things similar to that to trigger. Now, when it does have something similar, that's when the anxiety pulls up. That's really what anxiety is. So your brain really loves you, because a lot of times my clients will say, well, my brain hates me, because your brain loves you. I know it has all of these thoughts, but let's work on controlling the thoughts, because you can. I did it. It's not that I don't ever do it. I still will have times, but I have to be consistent. And I know this about myself, right? The trick is really just being consistent, because when you're consistent, then there's change. There's also, real quick, because I know I'm already past time, there's also the owning your diagnosis, which is another thing that's really big, right? So a lot of times my clients will come to me, hi, my name is Mary, I am anxiety. And that is who that person is. Like, that is their entire anxiety. That is their entire identity. Because a lot of times they've been diagnosed, and as soon as that diagnosis hits, the unconscious mind will take that personality on, and will do everything to support that personality. So what happens? So in my program, because I have coaching programs or whatever, and in a program, we have different stages. By the end of the second stage, going into the third stage, now we're really working on identity. So what does that mean? It means that we've set a foundation this far to now where I can say, okay, Allison, you know that you're not your anxiety anymore. You said, no, I'm not. I'm Allison, but I don't know what that means. Okay, very good. So if you don't know what that means, you say, well, I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a CEO, I'm an employee, I'm a caretaker, I'm a daughter, I'm a spouse, I'm all of these things. Okay, if I took all of those labels off and I said, Allison, who are you? And you said, Dana, I really don't know. I'm going to be super excited and say, okay, great. Because here is your opportunity to now create you. Knowing that you're still going to have anxiety, right? So now instead of anxiety being your identity, it's a symptom that happens to you sometimes. Make sense? So Allison, let's go ahead and create the perfect person you want to be. What do we do here? What kind of person do you want to be, Allison? Do you want to be a good person or a bad person? So, well, Dana, I want to be a good person. Hopefully you say, Dana, I want to be a good person, right? Dana, I want to be a good person. Okay, what does a good person look like? So remember, I was talking about defining strength. It is very, very important in your healing for you to redefine the things in your life. I cannot stress, if you forget everything else that I've said this evening, I want you to remember that one thing. It is extremely important that when you are healing, that you redefine things in your life. And I'm talking about very elementary things: love, strength, trust, desire, peace, well-being. When you can define them differently, because think about it, your definition right now of love is based off of trauma, passive or aggressive. It's based off of trauma. So if you're looking for love and you say, well, I don't want someone who hits me. I don't want anybody who cheats on me. I don't want somebody that I don't want. Okay, so that's all the things that you don't want. You're literally telling the universe what you want when you tell the universe what you don't want. Because the universe doesn't know the difference between want or don't want. You're speaking it. There's an energy behind it. Boom. That's why I was talking about frequency. Do you see that now? Good. So now we're defining who we are as a person. Now we're creating our identity. As we create this identity, every day you're going to spend a little bit of time working as that person. Why? Because the unconscious mind needs proof of life, right? It had, before you created this new identity, it had all of these years to support this anxiety and that personality, right? Now we're changing it. So now we have something completely different. And in order for it to support that personality moving forward, it needs proof of life. So how do we give it proof of life? Well, we have to be it. You have to experience it. You have to think it. So if you want to be a writer, if your goal is to be like this, best-selling novelist on the New York Times list, awesome. Write every single day and write on the top of it, New York Times bestseller. Like every single day. I don't care if it's a paragraph. You write that every day and you look at that and you feel it and you experience it and you are in that energy and in that motion. Why? Because the experience along with the energy is now transmitting to the universe. This is universal law. The same thing that card was talking about. Universal law. It's just law. This is what it is. It's not going to think about what Allison doesn't want. Now it's going to give you all the things that you want, because now you have a frequency, that high frequency, right, of love and gratitude. Oh my God, look at this. I can't believe it. Look, babe, look where I am. I just got the news. Oh my God, look at this. For 10 minutes a day, do that. 15 minutes a day, do that. An hour a day, write and then see it. It takes 18 to 20 seconds for that energy to be transmuted into the universe. Could you imagine 30 minutes, an hour a day? How much that's going to reinforce that energy? It's going to be massive. But it's also helping that unconscious mind now create an entirely new personality. So you're working on so many different levels, Miss Allison, so many different levels. When you are creating this, and then what happens? Anxiety comes. And you're like, oh, shit, I know what this is. All right, let me do some tapping. I'm going to do some breathing. I'm going to do some mental affirmations and some mental grounding. I know how to get, you've learned tools. And your anxiety says, oh, okay, I know. Okay, she's good. She got it. All right, I'm going to sit down now. She got it. It's not that big of a deal. So your anxiety is going to show up, but it's what you do with it at that point. Does that make sense? So that's why I tell my clients, I'm not here to tell you that I'm going to pull away your anxiety, that you're never going to have anxiety again, because that is a blatant lie. And if you have a doctor or anybody that tells you, here, you're going to have this medication, so you're never going to feel anxiety, what they're telling you is that you're never going to feel, because they're literally cutting off the receptors, all of that's happening in your brain. Now, most of us here are empaths to some degree or another. So that for us is really, really difficult. So we need to learn different ways and different avenues in order to maintain, to work with our anxiety. Does that make sense? So I say all that to say, oh, I'm way past time. I got to cut off because I know somebody else. I think there's another person coming on soon on the Psychic Fixes show. But I say all that to say is that I understand it. We have a very similar background. I am here to say that I like being that lighthouse for others. So then that way they can know that. And that's why I'm so very transparent with my background. Like I'm a rape survivor. I'm a homelessness survivor. I'm a domestic violence survivor. Like I've gone through all of these things and I have an amazing life now. I am so grateful for my life now. I'm so grateful for my children and their health and their success, and my fiance and how amazing he is as a human. I mean, he is an amazing human. Like I am so grateful every day for him because I did not have that ever in my life, but I worked my ass off to get here now. And this is what I want from my clients, because I know that you guys can have that same potential. I love it. Awesome. Good. Well, I'm way past time, so I got to cut out of here. Guys, this was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Please make sure you check in next week, same bat time, same bat station, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Psychic Fixes and Sage and Harmony Holistic Coaching. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your love and support, and I will see y'all next week. Blessed be.